In 2012, I was admitted to St. Mike's Hospital. I spent the next 5 of 6 months there, receiving intravenous antibiotics around the clock to fight a vicious infection that almost got the best of me. My lung function had fallen below 30%. I was on 4 liters of oxygen a minute. I was barely able to walk down the hall for a cup of coffee. Less than 30% lung function, you get in line for a lung transplant. These were definitely challenging times. Despite the medical regime, my lung function just was not improving at all. I knew the one and only thing I had dominion over was my response to the situation that confronted me. As the COVID pandemic has taught us, a health crisis doesn't come when you are ready and prepared for it. The exact opposite is true. When an infection does strike, you're required to be at your best under the circumstances, or at least rise to your best spiritual, mental, and physical self. But you are not prepared. It can feel like showing up to play in the Super Bowl when you've never been on a football team or ever touched a football in your entire life. I learned some valuable life lessons confronting this health challenge in those dark hallways at St. Mike's Hospital. The lessons were simple and transformative for my life. I share them in the hope that they can be equally as transformative for yours. Lesson number 1, if you think you're sick or if you think you're healthy, you are right. Attitude is everything. It starts with being grateful for the moment that you are in. It's not hard to do, but it takes immense effort in today's world to focus on the moment and actually be grateful for what you have. Start with the fact you can breathe, you can walk, and you have eyes that can see. Be grateful for what you've been given. Lesson number 2, live in day-tight compartments. If you take the accumulated worries and failings from the past, the concerns of the unknown in tomorrow, you will break. But God gives you the strength to deal with anything for a day. Acknowledge the past and the future, but never dwell on either. Lesson number 3, you are the chief executive officer of your own health. Regardless of what you do in your day-to-day life, during a health crisis, you are automatically elevated to the CEO position. You need leadership skills. You need to rally the troops. You need to keep your spirits high. You need to keep your focus sharp. You have a healthcare team that you need to lead, motivate, and inspire. Take what they say as counsel, but ultimately you make the decisions. Lesson number 4, there is power in your response. I believe that to focus on something other than your health challenge or your illness is the only way to beat it. You need to relegate it to the sidelines of your life. It helps to have so much you seek to accomplish that the illness becomes a nuisance to be tended to and not a preoccupation. Lesson number 5, whatever you can conceive or imagine, you can achieve. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Assuming there is no illness, no financial burdens, no barriers, no limits in time or space, what then would you do? You need to inspire yourself. Let your imagination drive you. For me, it was to get to 165 pounds and 65% lung function, both thought to be impossible. Lesson number 6, wake up, dress up, show up. That simple act may be the one that most immediately you can realize in a hospital. When you ache all over and you simply can't move, that doesn't mean you can't at least get out of bed at the beginning of the day. That simple act will send a message to yourself and everyone around you. The power of rising up can never be overstated. A day is a lifetime. Lesson number 7, laughing and smiling. Let your smile change the world. Don't let the world change your smile. Everyone can laugh and smile when they feel good. That's easy. God and the angels will part the sea for the one who is out of steam, losing the breath of life, and still laughs and smiles. That is what moves mountains and shapes the human soul. Lesson number 8, never give up, ever, period, under any circumstance. I promise that you will fall. Get back up. Let the clock count you out, not your will, ever. Lesson number 9, never better. When asked how you are today, always pause and respond, never better. It does wonders for your soul and touches the recipient whether they know it or not. It's a frame of mind, an approach to life, a tight, sharp, crisp way of expressing it to anyone around you. To have a never better approach to life, it's to live each moment as though it were the only one you had. Lesson number 10, never underestimate the power of prayer. I believe that everyone on this planet has been created with divine intent. Whatever you face in your life, your faith system will sustain you. Always pray boldly. Pray for strength and pray for others. Lesson number 11, choose to live your life always. By your attitude in the face of real personal challenges, often not of your making. By dreaming and creating possibilities in your mind. By writing them down and sharing them with the world. By your decision to execute. By your decision to smile and laugh and share your light and joy with the world. To never give up, even when one clear option is that you do. To get up when it's so easy not to. To dress up when you're not going anywhere. To show up, even if it's to buy a cup of coffee for yourself and donuts for the team. We all have our own mountains to climb. Just remember, work harder on yourself than you do on anything else. The result will be the resiliency you need. I promise you.